Round number 2 Atlanta is now in the books, and the champagne has been sprayed and the interviews conducted. I am so excited for our 3rd place finisher, Odi Bakchis, who said this about his finish.
Yeah, I charged so hard up the hill after interclip 1 that I had so much momentum that I was able to lift off throttle for a fairly long time. Going into an outer zone 2, I was like, man, I'm flying, so I'm just gonna let the car coast up there in the decel zone, and I let it coast for so long that the engine actually shut off. So just like a silly mistake. These cars are so wound up that if you're not in the clutch 100% and the wheels start grabbing, it'll shut the engine off. But I was able to, in like split second, downshift to 3rd, pop the clutch and bump start the car basically as I'm coasting into outer zone 2 and get it going again. Not zero now, but it was a big fumble, so I'm pretty sure that costed me the run with Chris. But when I turned around and chased Chris, I gave him hell, and it was so much fun. And here I am in 3rd place.
Our 2nd place finisher was fully confident today, and after an early exit out in top 32 in Long Beach, he wanted to make sure he came into Atlanta and absolutely crushed it. Chris Forsberg had this to say about his 2nd place finish.
Going into my lead run, the 2nd run, going back to the 1st run, I was chasing Bob, and I did the same approach I did with James, which was just launching out of the hole, trying to get a little bit of a head start because those Mustangs are fast. And we got, bumpers cross, entered in, and we pushed through and got through turn 1 into turn 2 together really well. So I tried to do the same thing with Vaughn. I think they kind of wicked his car up a little bit, and he was able to kind of like rotate it and slow down really well. And I was kind of closing in on him, so I didn't get the good anticipation of the jump on the throttle because I was just trying to keep my car from running into his. So as we transferred up the hill, he got about 3 or 4 car lengths. We were able to close back in on him at outer 2 into inner clip 2 and push him through the rest of the course pretty well. Finished on his door through the exit. Felt really good about it, but knew we were at a disadvantage. Going into my lead run, the final run of the night, when I came through the chicane, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, went for 4th, and it was just chunking and wouldn't go into gear. Finally get into gear, so I lost probably 10 miles an hour. It probably didn't look good on the straight. Entered in, went through the course, up through the keyhole, into 3rd, go back down. Probably should have left it in 4th, knowing it wasn't going to go back in. Chunked again, couldn't get into 4th. Finally got it. Got through the corner, and that allowed Vaughn to kind of close in a little bit. And so that basically is what got Vaughn the win, and we got 2nd place. But either way, absolutely incredible night. It was just history in the making, really. 20 years later, me and Vaughn battling in the semifinals back in 2004. And then I got 2nd place there. I got 2nd place last year. I got 2nd place this year. A little bit great, but I guess what, being on the podium is just as nice.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
And then how about the man who is our 2020 champion? He takes a year away. He comes back on a part-time schedule and gets the perfect event. Not only is he the #1 qualifier, he's the winner of the event, and it was by unanimous vote. So Vaughn Gittin Jr., with a very grateful heart, had this to say. My goodness, I know you're pouring your heart and your soul into your part-time schedule, but is this making you want to come back full-time in 24?
I mean, it's not that I ever wanted to leave. I just had to make tough decisions, There's so many great things going on, and like all my dreams and effort and all my team's effort is all just growing to be, so much. And, I've got to, I'm committed to my family and creating that balance. And so, I've got to make tough decisions. I've given this 20 years of my life, and I'm just grateful to be able to come back, and that our amazing partners are supporting a partial season, supporting me, racing and off-road, and doing all the great things we're doing in enthusiast events and content. And so, we'll see. The balance may ebb and flow, but right now I'm just grateful to be here in this moment, bringing home a win. Actually, perfect event. I didn't even know that till you told me. It's just crazy. It's so fairy tale. And then to be with Forsberg at the top of that freaking chute 20 years later, after we battled in the semifinals 20 years ago, when it was a very different thing and we were a very different place in our life, but still getting the same feeling, still getting the same challenges, and this sport pushing us to to our absolute all and give our all, and it's just special. It's just, I don't know if anyone will ever be able to understand it unless you're in it at this level, but it's just very special. So thank you all. The wishes, the love that I felt when I said I was coming back, you guys just showered me with it, and I'm just so much gratitude, and I hope I'm making it exciting and replicating the love back to you guys. So thank you so much. Thank you, Laurette, for being awesome and taking your job so serious. Much love, you guys.
The only thing predictable about Atlanta is that it is totally unpredictable. So congratulations, 20 years, and we have two OGs who started at the very beginning of Formula Drift, Chris Forsberg and Von Gittin Jr. going against each other in the final battle. So much emotion and so much joy from these two drivers, and just a great job to Odi Bakchis and the rest of the field carrying that momentum into round number 3 in Orlando. So we will see you in just about 2 short weeks. We'll see you soon.